I said the other day that now that they have huge leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum up to 400x, it's almost as good as these meme coins. It actually might be better because you're not going to get rugged, right? So you're eliminating that possibility of happening. You get to choose the leverage you want to use. And I'm going to show you how, with a $100 account or a $200 account, how you could have actually made decent money today. We were live on our Discord, reading the order book and looking at the chart, right? So let's get to it. So we did 2 trades in about 45 minutes, okay? Maybe, it wasn't even an hour, 45 minutes. So we went long. So we had Ethereum in this consolidation range, and we were watching the book, and you could see either side is just like it is now, 1.3, 1.4 million, bid 1.3, 1.4 million, right? And she's not going anywhere. Tries to break down, but like nothing. And then all of a sudden, as it's breaking up, there was some good sized bids, but nothing huge, right? But we knew 2720 was the trouble spot. And as soon as it started to get through it, some bids came in and we grabbed it. Now, with that said, so we go long at 27.20 and 41 cents. With that said, the momentum was not huge and the bids weren't stepping up, right? They were, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8 million, which normally it's 1.3, 1.4. So it's not huge, but it's not terrible. And it's grinding its way up. These are 5-minute candles. So we know we're targeting 10 to 20 cents, right? 15 on average on a scalp. But you got to try to feel the momentum. You got to see what the order book's doing. So the momentum wasn't there, and not a huge momentum. Volume was big, but not huge, and not the bids were bigger, but not huge. So we threw it out there at to sell at 27.30, and that's actually where we got out, and it actually traded just above 27.30. Went to 27.30, 27.30 and 21 cents. So we had it out there, just offering it out at 27.30. It came and took us out, ran another 20 some odd cents, and then started to pull back. Okay, as it's pulling back, we're watching it, right? And now it's coming into 8:45 this morning. Now we know 2,700 is going to be a trouble spot, right? And it's coming down hard, but it's hanging around at 2,700. And all of a sudden, a good size offer comes, right? It was a little over $2 million. Bang, we take it short. 27.0404, right? And boom, look at the big candle. It just starts to develop. So again, 10 to 20 cents. We throw it out there. We were looking to get a little bit lower. It just wasn't happening. We ended up covering 26.90 and 11 cents, picking up just short of $14 on that trade. You could see it went all the way down to 26.87 and change. And we were trying to get to about 26.85. We were trying to get almost that 20 cent level. It just wasn't happening. We ended up blasting out 26.90 and 11 cents. So picked up $13.93 there. Okay, with that said, there's 2 trades, right? And you're looking at, what is that? Call it 14 and 10. So you're looking at a little under $24, right? Let's call it 23 and change. It's approximately $2 commission in, $2 commission out, thereabouts. That brings it down to, on 50x leverage, net would be 30 on $100, just risking $100. 50x leverage would be net $35. 100x leverage would be $70. On risking $200 would be 50x leverage 70 and 100x leverage 140. I say that $100 and $200 because when we scalp, before they gave us all this big leverage, it was up to 20 times leverage. You'd scalp with, say, a $5,000 or a $10,000 account. You'd use 10, 15, 20 times leverage, and you'd be risking $100, $150, $200, $250, maybe up to $300 per trade. When we were scalping meme coins with no leverage, I was suggesting you risk $200, right? Which would be the same as a scalp with a $5,000 or $7,000 or $10,000 account. Well, now with this big leverage on Ethereum, for example, you could use 50x leverage, or you could use 100x leverage, right? So you don't need to have 5 grand and risking 5 grand, right? So on 100x on 50x leverage, if it goes against you about $31, you're going to get liquidated. And 100x leverage, if it goes against you about $16, you're going to get liquidated. So you're not going to risk that much, right? You might risk $6, but we're going with the momentum number one. We're going with the order book number two, or actually the order book number one, the momentum number two, right? So with that said, you're reducing your odds. Yes, can it reverse and you lose 6 or 8 cents or $6 or $8 on the trade? Absolutely, right? Those things happen, but you're not going to get liquidated. Even if you're using 100x leverage, you've got $16, right? So you're gonna limit your risk. You're gonna say, okay, if this thing goes, I'm gonna take it. The momentum's on my side. The book's on my side. If this thing reverses, I'll risk $5 or $6. If I get taken out, I get taken out. I got some of that $100 or $200 left to trade, right? And if you're using 100x, well, that would be 100x leverage. If you're using 50x leverage, you've got about double that, say $32. So you're still going to only want to risk $6 or $8 because you're going to want to catch the moves that are real, that the momentum's there and the order book is pushing it, right? Those are the real moves. There's a lot of moves that juke and jive. You try to avoid those, right? So I just wanted to show you guys, you don't need to have a large amount of capital to scalp. You could do 2 or 3 or 4 trades in an hour or two and pick up, like I just said, 70, 140, 200, $300 off your 100 or $200, right? That's almost as good as the meme coins, unless you catch a meme coin that explodes for you, which is very few and far between. But I'm just trying to show you guys that it's possible. So hopefully you come back to Discord tomorrow.